everyone, and welcome to Slice TV again. And due to popular demand, I've got Daryl Griffin back here to talk about social media, but I guess more importantly, LinkedIn. Daryl, it's good to have you back again.
Always more importantly, Court, to talk about LinkedIn.
More importantly, yes. So we were just talking earlier, and so Facebook isn't your thing. YouTube, I'll give you a few little hints and tips of maybe how to start going down that road. But
Great.
You're LinkedIn, aren't you, Daryl? That's your baby. That's
it, my friend. I'm all about what LinkedIn can facilitate for us. Yes.
What's your most popular or pointed tip for the moment?
Well, that's a good question. I think, again, I'll come back to this whole facilitation thing. I've been writing this article about what LinkedIn can facilitate for your business. I think if you understand some of these things, then you're going to be in a far better position to decide whether actually, I need to be on board. I need to master this because I know that it can facilitate some great outcomes for my business. So in answer to the question of what can LinkedIn facilitate for my business, I think it's probably a good thing to address. It can showcase my value. So my LinkedIn profile becomes a value showcase. Mm-hmm. My value to others I need to think about that entirely. My value as a business person is only what others put on it.
So what does that really mean as far as what you're talking about, recommendations people have there, or is it how you're just wording who you are?
Yeah, all important. So using your LinkedIn summary to make your value very clear to me, and there are ways to do that. I'll probably cover some of that in some of my later LinkedIn tips. But aside from the profile, because we tend to get stuck there because, as we've already discussed, we think, okay, we're just going to do my profile and all the magic will happen. Well, it's not true. It gives me the tools through the published post platform on LinkedIn to position myself as a go-to expert in my field, so that people can begin to see, okay, they're more than just a profile. They have actually got something of value to say, and I understand how that can address the pain point in my business here. So we need to, I think in all of these things, we need to start to think like the customer. And if we don't know who our customer is, and we don't know what we've solved for some of our customers in the past, then we really need to find out, because that's what we've solved for Brian. It may very well also be something that's a challenge for Sandra.
Yep.
So we need to understand that fully. Not only that, we need to. LinkedIn facilitates the opportunity to engage with other professional people in a way that would never have been possible 10 years ago.
Well, it was about joining clubs or networking events, like we said.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Suddenly I have this opportunity to actually enter into conversation with people that could potentially become clients, or at least refer me to other people that may need my services. Where social media turns from being into some kind of new styled, digital billboard where I just post all of my advertising that nobody wants to read, and it becomes something where I actually can engage very naturally with other human beings, other professional people. It allows me to find potential clients using an advanced search tool. It allows me to be very targeted in that, so that I can actually embark on a strategy to seek to build relationships with potential clients. It facilitates me being able to create a top-of-mind strategy, which is basically I share such value, and this is part of the reason why I do these daily LinkedIn tips, because I want people to think, I need some help with LinkedIn, Daryl, by sharing daily value, and it comes back to value. This is the thing, that people think that it's just a matter of case of sharing. I've just got to share stuff because that's what you do on social media. Anything, just make sure that I'm sharing something. It's not true. If you share value, people take an interest because it matters to their business. If you're sharing something that can impact their business and then that's going to be considered valuable, and they're going to remember you for it. This is what the whole top of mind strategy is. So I would encourage all businesses, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're a solopreneur, as it's been called, or larger business, you've got to think about, create a list perhaps of tips. They don't need to be long, just a little tip, and think about, very simply using a tool like canva.com to create some branded graphics with a little tip on there, and then share that 3 months on. People would have forgotten you shared it the first time, so you can recycle that content and go again, and you can create a whole catalogue of valuable tips, which starts to get into the mind of people in your network. You're also engaging with them. You're asking them questions. You're finding out about their businesses. So, all of this works together. Your profile's great. You're sharing your expertise as a thought leader. You're engaging with people. You're reaching out. In my experience, all of those things work together. This is why I call these sort of the pillars of LinkedIn success. When they all work together well, you do get the outcomes that you're looking for, but more than you would expect, actually. I'll use even Courtney as an example. If I was Courtney, I would be doing all of these things. I would say, I am going to become known as, and let's keep it Perth-centric for now, but it could be anywhere in the world, and it could be on any scale that you want it to be. But I want to be recognised as the go-to video production specialist in Perth, Western Australia, this time next year. I would implement all of these strategies. I'd make sure that my profile was value-focused from potential clients. I would start sharing my expertise through the publishing platform. I would start engaging with people. There's that video guy again, asking some, he's a good bloke, Start to earn some social currency, as it were. Start to reach out, find, I did some video business with that company. They're in that field. Now there's also these other companies who are also in that field. I wonder if they would be interested in my, you start to do a little bit of outreach, a little bit of outbound. You create some tips about the lighting and sound, and, so that people, so you create your own top of mind strategy. You bring all that gloriously together. This is what I mean by what LinkedIn can facilitate for your business, and what most people don't understand it can facilitate for them. Bring that all together as a glorious mix, and the outcome is very different to say, social media needs to be outsourced to this person because I don't have time to do it, kind of thing. You suddenly become somebody that people value in their network. So you can tell I'm quite, I'm really, because I've seen these results myself, even before I was doing LinkedIn training, back in the sign industry, I began to understand these things all work together. There wasn't these things in isolation. They all work together. LinkedIn facilitates all of that. And however much that I'm occasionally knock the tool, but it's just a tool. And LinkedIn's basically saying, you can do all of this with this tool, but are you going to,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's where it becomes time management, and getting yourself set up correctly is the key for that. I know I haven't got myself set up correctly to do all that, and it's just managing that and getting it into position.
What I did when I began to put all of this together into a handbook, which all my clients get a copy of. So I have these 6 pillars of LinkedIn success. We've sort of talked about the first 5, but the 6th one is basically taking all of the others and creating a strategy that I can actually commit to on a daily basis. And I really think, best will in the world, if you recognise that LinkedIn can facilitate some great things for your business based on all that we've been talking about, then you need to find half an hour a day to implement these things. Mm-hmm. But the outcomes, the people that I've worked with who have implemented this stuff, and have even admitted to me that initially I was skeptical, but they're saying to me, it works, So, I will continue to bang the drum and encourage people to take hold of the tool and don't put it to one side and think, okay, later, or don't put it to one side and thinking, okay, I'm just going to focus on SEO and my website and hope against hope that in a downturn market, I'm going to attract all of this new business to me. This is about saying, okay, I can actually create my own business destiny with a tool like LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can actually be proactive and make it happen. And so taking some of that entrepreneur juice and inject it into the LinkedIn cow and see what I can create with it.
Oh, we're going to have to remember that one. Injecting it into the LinkedIn cow. We've now got a new little metaphor we're setting up. Let's see what response that gets. We have to do a little animation picture now of a cow. Daryl injecting into this LinkedIn cow.
Yeah, that sounds good, mate.
There's a cartoon there ready.
Absolutely, there is. Yeah.
So maybe next time when you tune in for the next episode of listening to Daryl talking about LinkedIn, we'll get more into how best to publish your posts and how to go about that.
Yeah.
I guess what makes a good post. Technically, even how to go. I know when I was doing it, because I have to have videos, one to link there. Do I highlight the text and have to click on that to embed it? Where you want to send people for once they click on your post, because sometimes there's about 3 or 4 little connections you go down the line before you actually start to read the post.
Sure.
So what's actually happening best there? But maybe we'll save that for a little chat later on. What do you think? We'll do that. I think that's a good part to get into a bit of the hardware, the nuts and bolts of actually how to use it to get best results and what you want to be saying.
And I'd like to be able to bring into the mix, asking you some questions about bringing video into LinkedIn. I mean, we can use video on our profiles as an introduction tool to ourselves. We can use video in the published posts. We can also use video as status updates. So perhaps getting some tips from you.
I like actually what you're saying there. I haven't actually seen anyone putting any videos as a status update or anything like that. Just as almost like a morning webcam. Like when you said half an hour you're spending on LinkedIn doing so, like as you sit down, you've gone through maybe the last 5 minutes, you go, hey, I've just checked out all these things on LinkedIn today. Have a look, everybody. Here's the bang, 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 bang. Here's the things.
It's a great
It's a really
idea.
good idea. I should probably be doing that myself.
You can be, absolutely. You can be a kind of a newsfeed digest.
Newsfeed digest for LinkedIn. Okay, well, stay tuned, everyone. We might set more of that up.
Copyright.
Yeah, well, Daryl will have his. I'll put mine on. He's just slowly dying here. He's just getting over the cold. So I hope you've been able to hear him today. He is at the tail end of this horrible, horrible colds that have been going around this winter.
I've been a bit quiet today. I was quiet last time. I know I'm a quietly spoken, gentle gentleman.
I'm trying to be a bit quieter. I've lowered my tone down. But I hope you've enjoyed...
What's it called?
What are we doing? What are we here for?
I don't know. Was it?
I was just sort of walking around the home and you sort of wandered in.
I know. I saw the light on.
I hope you've enjoyed the show and stay tuned next time when we get a little bit more detail into the nuts and bolts of how to use LinkedIn and publishing posts and so forth. But till next time, bye for now.
Bye.